leaders, political leaders, business leaders, you are a leader or manager or you're doing nothing. If somehow you can sell your ideas, you can sell yourself, boy, you can win the world.
Yeah, that one skill can let anyone thrive in any of the respective field whatsoever they want to master in, right?
So we are going to discuss an art of selling, how to sell. Then of course we'll come to the pen as well, how to sell a pen.
As everyone wants to learn how to sell a pen.
I'm really surprised, when I started selling this pen, just for the sake of practice, I wanted to practice my selling. I wanted to practice my communication, my confidence. I started selling at CP. I started selling a pen at CP. So what I used to do in the beginning? This is the greatest pen in the market. And I used to use 5 rupees pen, right? This is the greatest pen. Oh my God, Aristotle used to use this pen. And people say, cut the crap, man.
That's the funniest.
And nobody listens to your story in the beginning. You're selling 2 rupees pen, all of a sudden you start telling a story, people are going to say, just go away.
Yeah.
So you're going to build that rapport.
That reminds me of the movie I watched of Ajay Devgan, where he asked the guy, the vendor, that this guava, how many rupees? He says 25 paise. And then he's like, no, think about it. This is the last guava on the planet, 5 rupees. So that kept on going on the bargaining, and ultimately he bought the same guava for 500 rupees. Well, that's a movie. We are talking about real life.
Yes, exactly. That's a great example. So, as you might have heard, so many people even in the class, they keep talking about a pen. Whenever they are given a task to how to sell a pen, they're given 2 rupees pen, 5 rupees pen. This is the best pen from the history. Come on, man, be realistic.
This is one regular pen, and this must have been manufactured, that 2 rupees pen, in millions.
Even if after this video you forget all the tactics, but remember one tactic: build a rapport. Be genuine. Build a rapport.
Build a rapport with the people whomsoever you're selling anything. It could
Only
be,
then they listen to your stories.
yes,
Once you build a rapport.
not just the pen, but you can sell anything if you can remember this idea of building a rapport. Well, now the most valid question that comes in my mind is how to build a rapport, because I believe this is the most difficult job to do, to build a rapport.
No, this is not that difficult. You're gonna be genuine, you're gonna stick to your honesty, and you're gonna be persistent. I still remember when I was working.
But some people are jerk.
Some are, for sure.
So what to do?
I was working with this leading newspaper, right? My job was to collect advertisements for this newspaper. So I was in their sales department. I still remember when I just joined this leading newspaper and they sent me somewhere. I went to this showroom, and the owner of this showroom, basically, he was yelling at his employees.
Yeah, I'm talking about that guy.
So I still decided to go ahead. I tried talking to him. He was a bit rude. Not bit rude, he was very rude to me. I was getting angry, but my mentor told me in sales, you're not supposed to get angry.
Oh,
Control your
sucks.
nerves. Yeah, that does, but still you're supposed to control your nerves. So I came back. After a few days, I again went to him. I just told him, I was just passing by. I thought of saying hi to you. Okay. Again, after a few days, I went to him. Then again, after a few days, I went to him. This time, he was watching sports early in the morning. Now, if you're watching sports early in the morning, it means you're a sports fan, right? I started talking to him about sports. I tried to build rapport by sounding genuine. And of course, I succeeded in building rapport. Then finally, he released the advertisement. But make sure, once you build a rapport, after that, you give something productive.
Right. At the same time, you don't overdo it.
Yeah, you don't overdo it. You stay genuine and you give them good services.
Yeah.
It's really simple. If people like you, they'll listen to you. If they trust you, they'll do business with you. It's about trust. It's about building a rapport. So selling is not that difficult. People have made it complicated. You know about it. Could you quickly tell your Amazon incident?
Well, I bought a product and I was not satisfied, so I wanted to contact seller to exchange or to refund. They didn't listen to me, so I had to finally claim, and I contacted Amazon and problem was solved. So it was really easy.
So it was about trust. That's why you decided to contact Amazon, right?
Absolutely.
The companies like Amazon, companies like Apple, people like Warren Buffett, like he invested in Paytm, and all of a sudden everybody wanted to invest in Paytm, but they haven't come up with their IPO yet. It's about trust, it's about building a rapport. Can we quickly discuss the psychology of selling?
Sure. Why not?
So, we are going to discuss the psychology of selling, but before that, we are going for a quick break. We assure you, we are coming up with something really interesting. Is used by real estate agents and car dealers. Then there's another thing, mere association. You know what happens when we go to some luxury boutique, right? Their ambience is fantastic, so much money. They hire beautiful females, and we end up spending so much money. That's called mere association.
Okay.
Then one more thing. Of course, there are many mental models. Pain avoiding tendency. You might have seen the poster the other day. You were talking about weight loss, right? You might have seen the posters. Weight loss in 10 days, in 5 days, in 7 days, become rich overnight, become rich in 1 month, learn English in 10 days. This is bullshit. This is simply pain avoiding tendency. The people who are selling the products, they are also distorting the facts. The people who are buying the products, why they're distorting? Because they don't want to take the pain of doing research. They simply believe, oh my God, I want to buy the product. So there are many mental models. We'll be discussing these mental models in one of the videos, maybe. But I believe these 3 things are enough for the psychology of selling. The point is, why we are discussing all these things. I personally believe, you believe, we believe here at Pep Talk India in honesty, right? So we still believe that your product has to be genuine. Of course, you can use some strategies, some tactics, but your product has to be genuine. Then try building rapport. Then try earning the trust of your customers so that they could become your permanent customers. Once you build a rapport, you can tell a story. By the way, you were telling something about the pen, this pen.
Are you asking me about this pen?
Precisely.
Well, let me tell you. This pen says Jordan. Does not mean a Michael Jordan. Neither the guy who lives in Jordan, but the guy who works here at Pep Talk India. His name is Jordan, and he has got this name engraved in the Parker pen, right? So now the problem I see in most of the people who try to master the art of selling, they tell fake stories. Fake stories can never help you build rapport, and as a result, you do not gain trust of the people, right? As you were telling, the story is secondary. First, you gotta build the rapport, then the trust, and in order to have trust, then different stories. But no fictional, no hypothetical story. Story which has power because it is authentic. Is that right?
Precisely.
So a lot of people will tell you like, okay, all right, let me do it. Do you see this pen? This is the pen of Michael Jordan. You know how important this pen is. I'm going to put this pen in auction. How many of you are going to buy it? Well, everyone. Is that right? So tell authentic story, not the fake one. Well, once you told me one very interesting interview what you had long back, that a guy asked you to sell a pen. How did you do that? I'm damn interested to listen to that.
But do you really think I'm going to tell you right away? Because I'm not going to spare her so quickly. The other day she was telling me the greatest sales strategy. What about that strategy?
Well, I will tell you, but before that, I'm more interested in this story right now. So
Okay.
tell me the story.
You're going to tell in this video, right?
Yes, let me get started. All right. Mr. Rocky, you are here for an interview, so please sell me this pen.
No, can I build a plot first?
You can? Yeah.
So that they could also understand, right? So the scene was, I was there, I appeared for interview, and this guy gave me this 5 rupees pen, though he was using high-end pen, and he gave me this 5 rupees pen from his table, and he asked me to sell this pen. Now let's suppose this is that 5 rupees pen, and I'm going to sell this to you.
All right.
And you are already using high-end pen, costly pen, right? Okay. So I simply told him, sir, I understand you're using very costly pen, but consider this pen as an alternative option.
Oh, nice.
Right. And this is an investment you won't regret. Just buy this pen, keep this pen somewhere in your lappy bag, and forget about it. Only remember in case of emergency. It's just for 5 rupees. That's it.
That's right.
Reasonable talk, right? I asked him questions, couple of questions first. That which pen are you using? He said, I'm using this very costly pen. Then I was a bit confused.
story.
Yeah, he's already using 3-4k pen, 3-4,000 pen. Then how can I sell him 5 rupees pen? So you gotta be reasonable. So
Sort of telling the fake stories, right?
yes. So I simply tell him, I have an alternate option for you. Yes, this is really cheap pen according to your standard, sir. But consider this an investment and you won't regret it. Use this in case of emergency.
When
Simple.
your 3-4,000 rupees pen doesn't work, use this pen.
Of course, in case of emergency.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and he was happy. He was quite satisfied. Okay, this
Well,
guy is quite reasonable, right?
Let's get the pen.
Now, can we come back to the greatest sales strategy?
You're a master of it. You have already discussed
I
multiple
am
ways.
Not.
So, well, taking the clue from whatever you talked about, the building rapport and the trust, and I guess there are multiple other ways what you have here that probably you're not going to tell me so easily. So, let me tell you what I truly believe about the selling. I believe people buy the product to make their life easier, nothing else. Nothing else.
Interesting. People buy the products to make their life easier.
You're right.
Mhm.
They okay, like taking example of the interview where you were selling the pen. When you said this is an alternate option for you, isn't it to make sure that even if you forget your high end pen at home, this pen, as you might not be very much in love with this pen, will always be there in your bag. So it will make your life easier. Even if you forget after signing, nothing is going to be, you're not going to be at a big loss. Is that right?
You're not going to regret.
So people buy your product to make their life easier. You see, when we already had fans, why did we look for AC? Especially in the climate where AC is not so damn important, right? Just because we wanted to make our life easier. Now, for instance, I'll just quickly brief you about the Maggie thing. When Maggie was introduced in Indian market, people were, apprehensive about its success. It's like India is already full of snacks. We have so many cuisines, we are full of snacks still, right? So people were apprehensive. Will Maggie be successful in this country? But now you know the story. Maggie is like viral. Everyone loves Maggie. There is no age group who would confess that, oh, Maggie is something that's for kid, Maggie is something that's for old age people or young people. Everyone loves Maggie. Now, how did Maggie made its space in this diverse market of this country, right? It was very simple. As I said at the some time ago, everyone loves to make their life easier,
Precisely.
and that is the reason of buying the product. Do you remember the tagline? 2 minutes noodles. You remember? That one line hit the brain. Like you were talking about mental model, the psychology, right? So it hit the psychology of the people because they or we all want to make our life easier. We bought Maggie, we loved Maggie, and look at us today. Forget rest of the snacks, Maggie please. Though for sure it doesn't take 2 minutes, it takes more than 10 minutes. Is that right?
Yeah, precisely.
But we are not going to sue the guy, sue the people who introduced Maggie to this Indian market. You said 2 minutes noodle, it doesn't cook in 2 minutes, right? So everyone wants to make their life easier, and Maggie's success still the same, right? So what do you say? How would you summarize? And
Yeah, precisely. You're absolutely right. If somehow you can portray this, our product is going to make your life easier,
right.
people tend to get convinced,
Right.
That's what I did perhaps during the interview.
Yes.
Since he was using 3-4,000 rupees pen, and I was supposed to sell him 5 rupees pen, so I simply became reasonable. I didn't say this is the greatest pen in the market. He's using 4-5,000 rupees pen, right?
Yeah.
So I simply said, Like, this is an alternate option, of course, for sure, but this is an investment you won't regret.
Yeah, that's right.
So I was unintentionally, I made it easier for him, because I also said, you buy this pen, you keep in your lappy bag, and you forget about it. Only use in case of emergency.
Yeah.
And that's what Nike does.
Yes.
Just do it. Right?
Just do it. The
Just do it,
mindset, yeah.
They have created that mindset among all the people, that if you buy Nike shoes,
You will be runner.
yeah, you'll be a runner, you'll be an athlete,
Yes.
or you'll be doing wonders.
And there was this ad of Nike, everyone is athlete, you know.
And that's why weight loss strategy works, right? Lose your weight in 10 days, in 20 days, gain your weight in 10, 20 days. You're absolutely
Gaming,
right.
I can buy it.
Yes. So, as she said, that I'm going to summarize, so let me summarize quickly. Selling is about building a rapport, of course, about asking questions, about earning the trust. And after earning the trust, you got to deliver them something, right? Don't cheat them, like some guys do.
Yeah, not one-time selling. Yeah.
Yeah. And once you build a rapport, then of course you can tell stories. And it's about being reasonable as well. Like we have seen so many people doing, they become unreasonable while selling pens, right? And the greatest tip she mentioned, it's about making your customer's life easier, or at least portraying that this product is going to make your life easier, but still sound genuine.
Yes. And that's the secret of, secret of success of most of the big brands in this world.
Yes, of course. So we hope that you like this video and you have learned something about selling. We have discussed the psychology of selling as well. So, any last statement?
I believe if they are watching it and understanding everything, and if they follow all those tips and tricks what we shared just now, they can sell anything on this planet. Anything. Now again, be reasonable. Anything doesn't mean, you know what I mean.
You're selling a comb to bald guy.
Yeah, that doesn't really work. You know,
Sell something genuine.
yes, the guy doesn't have hair. What would he do with the comb? He'll play comb.
Okay, let's go. See you then. Ta-da.
Bye.